Welcome back to another video, and today I'm using my son's gift, the DJI Action 4, which is pretty cool. So I'm learning how to use that. Hopefully don't mess this video up. So I wanted to share with you guys. So I've decided to go ahead and take frame building a little more serious. So I've built a couple mountain bikes. The Kaizen is a good example. My green mountain bike over here to the left that you can kind of see the front of. It was a fun build. It's progressive geometry. It's super slack. It's very short chain stay. It's a really it's very specialized in what it is, and I learned a lot from that bike. I got another bike up here that I built that I enjoyed, and I'll show you this frame. I got more than just the two, of course. So this was the first bike frame I've ever built, and I made what I thought was progressive geometry, but after I got it all welded together, the thing that I didn't consider was my crown to axle length on the fork. And what that determines is really everything. It determines your bottom bracket height, how slack you are. I drew this on paper as if everything was square. I measured a stack I wanted, and a reach I wanted, a bottom bracket, and a location everything relative to the rear dropouts is kind of what I did. And once you put a fork on it, the whole thing kind of fell more like this, And this bike had a really low bottom bracket with a 100mm fork, that is. Had a really low bottom bracket, and it was like 67-degree head tube angle. And this bike actually was like so fun. It was so comfortable. It was really like so light, even for a steel frame, because I think this weighs 6 pounds, which is not super light. I mean, most of your aluminum frames are 4.5 pounds, so it was about 1.5 pounds heavier than an aluminum frame. But it just felt like super light, and it was a really fun bike. Accidentally, it just didn't end up being what I intended it to. So the Kaizen was my second attempt to that, taking fork length more into consideration. So that was a hard lesson. So anyways, on to my frame jig. So what I have here is some cold roll steel. This is what I'm building to be my frame jig. And this is 3/4 by 2 1/4. This gets thrown away all the time at my job. So I was able to salvage a couple pieces of this out of the dumpster and did some machine work to it. And now I have two plates, or two of these, that are bolted together in 3 points. You can kind of see the bolts there. And it's almost, imagine like a lathe, where a lathe has the two kind of rails that your saddle kind of runs up and down, and your tailstock and all that. I'm building a frame jig kind of around that idea. So this right here is my kind of like my dropout mounts, or how I'm going to put my dropouts on. So this is a 10mm bolt with a 12mm shoulder, so that I'll be able to space with and do through axle boost, or I can do 10mm quick release by just bolting the with spacers and washers, whatever, to get the chain stay and drop out to where in the position that I want. So the thing I'm doing differently though is I'm building the fork, or the head tube mount right here, and I'm going to set my datum, which is going to be my fixed position, is always going to be my front axle. So I'm going to determine what my fork length is going to be, and then I will adjust this accordingly, and then everything else will be followed after that, because that's the one thing that I overlooked on the first frame that I built. And once this is all together and I prove it out, my plan is to start building frames and selling them. So I think that'll be really cool to build a Rice brand bike. So steel frames. Eventually I'll get into aluminum welding. I haven't tried that yet. I've got a lot of learning to do. Being able to get it into a jig that will lock this thing down, lock the pieces down rather, in a way that they just can't move, and then I can really put some heat to it. This is not aluminum, this is cold rolled steel, so I can put a lot heat around it. I don't have to worry about it melting, anything like that. This is like industrial grade fixture stuff that I'm building here. So it's probably overkill, but you know, this was just going to be thrown away. So I'm putting it to use. You can see the rust all over it. I've been kind of cleaning my bars up a little bit, and I'm really excited about it. So I still have to make the bottom bracket mount. So I'm planning to do another bar back here that can slide and pivot, that will hold the seat tube. It'll have kind of like a cone that comes down, grabs the seat tube, similar to a lot of them that I've seen. And that way I can set my bottom bracket. This piece here, it's a nice fit, but I'll be able to slide this and set my dropouts where I want them. I'm going to drill a hole through the center plate that goes between these two and put a plate underneath and tighten it, kind of like how you would a tailstock on a lathe. That's how I'm going to set my rear dropouts. So everything's going to move and lock into place, and the only thing that won't move will be the theoretical front axle. So I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be really cool, and I look forward to kind of experimenting and creating a bike based on some comfortable geometry that is kind of more like trail and gravel bike crossover, which is kind of weird, but I think I'm building for the average rider, not the race guy. I'm not looking to make cutting edge racing bikes. I'm looking to make stuff that's comfortable, that the average guy that's getting into mountain biking will enjoy. I think it's going to be fun. So just wanted to share that with you, kind of going to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions on frame geometry or anything like that, if you have a bike that you think is just the ultimate sweet spot of bikes, share it in the comments, because I'm trying to gather my geometry and figure out what kind of frame I'm going to be building as kind of like my flagship frame. So I will be doing custom geometry as well. So that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.